Namaste.
Namaskara.
Vanakkam.
Khushamadi.
Assalamu alaikum.
Sat Shri Akal.
Nigandriki vandanam.
Jai Swaminarayan.
जय श्री कृष्ण.
जय जनेंद्र.
हमारे इस्माइली भाई बंधुओं को बोल दे याली मदद.
मौलानी मदद बोलते हुए साजिश फीज मंजर को बोले कि निशा बुला बड़जन हम आ गए हैं आपके प्यारे महिमा के द्वारे मैसिव फालतू बाबा.
And of course, myself फालतू रानी लेकर आपके लिए एक और drive time that's going to make it totally exciting and oh my god, totally mysterious and totally मस्तानी बन जाने.
तो राय बड़जन आपको मालूम होगा कि मुझे मामले लेकिन अगर आपने हमारा फेसबुक पेज का पोस्टिंग देखा है तो आज एक वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक आने वाला है बड़जन. Today is Mystery Mondays of Kamal and we've been focusing on some mysteries which are really mysterious. We taken paranormal phenomenon to a very normal phenomenon also. Two, we've done mysteries about the past, mysteries about the future. अभी तक नहीं आए हम लोग लेकिन mysteries about the recent past also. We talked about
present भी करते हैं.
No, we also talked about mysteries which are like mind-boggling mysteries like landmarks.
Correct.
We talked about situations of reincarnation, right? We talked about multiple things and अभी तो आज it's going to be something very special. In all the mysteries, one of them what you talked about is the mysterious disappearance we talked about.
Correct.
Right? We also talked about mysterious murder cases which have never been resolved. जो hanging में हैं. काफी सारे ऐसे मर्डर मिस्ट्रीज के बारे में बात करें. ऑफ कोर्स अनफॉर्चुनेटली ये मर्डर मिस्ट्रीज जो होती है ना ये रियल लाइफ में हुए हैं. And these are something which we are sharing with you about the findings of some of the wonderful criminal minds. I'm talking about the CBI and also the यहाँ पे FBI का भी details हम लोग आपको. All these are something published in available for public viewing, right? We're able to pull up those things. And they are more stranger than real life. Sorry, they're more stranger than fiction, I'm sorry. Because sometimes it just boggles your mind, how could something like this ever happen?
Correct.
For us, people who are somewhere in the realm of, a safety of our own homes and our own comfort zones, right? For us, it seems very awkward, like how could this even happen? But actually, it has happened.
Correct.
And आज हम लोग एक ऐसे केस के बारे में बात जानकर पाने वाले जो actually boggled some of the greatest investigators in Indian diaspora, I must say. And you might wonder what you're talking about. ये कुछ I would say ये probably most of you might have also seen it, must have heard a little bit about it. So we would love to hear from you guys also because इस केस के ऊपर एक इतना high profile case बन गया ये कि it also was picked up by the Bollywood industry and they actually made a movie on this, if I'm not mistaken, right, Faltani?
They did.
And if you're wondering what we're talking about this 2008 में Noida mystery double murder. This is what we're talking about. And आज जो भी जानकारी आपको मिलेगा, probably already known about it, or you might actually have more information because देखो कभी क्या होता है कि it takes long time for things to resolve, right? I don't know if this actually has been closed or questionable है because काफी टाइम तक वो केस चला, right?
काफी टाइम तक चला एंड एक के बाद एजेंसीज इन्वॉल्व हुए
एंड एक के बाद स्टोरीज भी ऐसे ही निकलती आई एंड उसके बारे में आज थोड़ा बहुत जानकारी पाएंगे हम लोग. एंड यस यू कैन ऑलवेज गिव अस अ कॉल, यू कैन जॉइन द शो. एज यू नो हमारा शोज जो है तो एवरीथिंग इज क्लाउड फॉर्मेट, राइट? यू कैन एक्चुअली कॉल अप ऑल्सो and share with us some tidbits about it. So whenever we do this, Faltani, whenever we start with a nice background about the story, right? ये जो आप देख रहे हैं image, don't go by that. ये actually it was just image on one of the other websites actually had it. We just thought we could just bring it up. It seems very interesting. The people involved in the whole case. अब तक किसी को मामले क्या हुआ है? We'll talk about that as we go through, right? This is the case of a 13-year-old kid. Growing up in Delhi. Her name was Arshi Talwar.
Right.
So she was a school-going kid, 13-year-old kid.
From a very well-to-do family.
From a well-to-do family. She's a daughter of a dentist couple. They actually had practice run. It was pretty good, pretty prominent people in the community. Rajesh Talwar and Dr. Nupur Talwar, right? Now, this kid, 24th May she was born, right? And of course, this ये वारदात जो हुआ 2008 में हुआ exactly which is 4 days before her birthday, 16th of May, right? So she used to go she was a student of Delhi Public School daughter of these two dentists, Rajesh and Nupur Talwar. Rajesh and Nupur Talwar practiced together. They had to practice together on Sector 27 in Noida.
Acha.
So they practiced, but they had clients who used to come in and go, right? High profile clients. They saw patients at the Fortis Hospital as well. So pretty busy, well-to-do. And also, I think Rajesh Talwar, he also taught at the ITS Dental College in Greater Noida. So Professor bhi the usse upar se. And of course, there used to be one more dentist couple, the Durrani couples, Anita and Praful. They also somehow involved as a close family friend of the Talwars. They lived in the same city. And they, of course, shared the Noida clinic with Talwars. Not just them, there were like 4 doctors, 4 dentists to share the thing. Rajesh and Anita worked at the clinic in the morning from 9 to 12, and then Praful and Nupur used to cover the evening shift. That's how they actually broke up the shift. The Duranis also shared a clinic in House Khas area at Delhi. So they actually had one more practice to actually work in the place. So now this is the background of whatever happened, right? Now इसके बारे में हम लोग और जानकारी पाने के लिए will go deeper into the day, right? और उसके बारे में बातें करेंगे. लेकिन फालतू नहीं, anything you want to share with based on your findings and whatever research we did?
Well, Abanijan, हम बस ये बताना चाहते हैं. Now we've been only talking about one particular person, although the story says the double murder mystery.
Yes, we talked only about a person called Arish Talwar. Now, can you share more about what is double murder?
So, double murder mystery. So, let's give you वो क्या कहते हैं snapshot of what happened and what meaning what transpired on that fateful day of 16th May. What actually happened. So, there are 2 characters. आपको याद रखना है इन characters के नाम. Unfortunately, ये genuine real life किरदार हैं. I mean real life people. A beautiful 13-year-old girl जो काफ़ी cute थी and काफ़ी खूबसूरत भी थी, Arushi Talwar. And then a 45-year-old live-in domestic servant. उसका नाम था हेमराज बंजाड़े. Okay, तो ये दोनों लोग मर गए. Unnatural and untimely death. यानी कि they both of them were killed. पहले लेकिन discover किया गया the body of Arushi Talwar, and then people said that ये हेमराज उसको शायद मार के भाग गया है कहीं पे. हेमराज was reported missing. जो live-in staff है घर का वो बंदा missing था. Then Delhi police came. Delhi police supposedly छानबीन की, सब कुछ की, and then they thought that Hemraj is the person who might have done it. And then eventually, what happened was they discovered a foul smell coming from the terrace, and they found Hemraj's partially decomposed body. So Hemraj also has been killed. Now, the question arises, was Hemraj killed before Arushi or was he killed after Arushi? Because Arushi was supposedly alone in the house at the time that this happened. Okay, and after ruling out other domestic servants, जो servants आते हैं ना, जैसे बाई, काम वाली बाई है, जो भी, उनको rule out करने के बाद दिल्ली पुलिस ने आरुषि के पेरेंट्स पे आरोप लगाया कि पेरेंट्स ने कुछ किया होगा. दे आर द प्राइम सस्पेक्ट्स इन दिस पर्टिकुलर केस.
इंटरेस्टिंग.
ठीक है. राजेश तलवार जी जो उन आरुषि के पापा थे, they said Delhi police tried to spin a story. You know, वो उनको केस क्लोज करने का होता है, right?
Correct. They had to just find a solution to it.
हाँ, तो उन्होंने क्या कहा कि you know कि dad came home and आरुषि का हेमराज के साथ कोई चक्कर चल रहा था.
Oh my God.
And they found he found both of them in an objectionable position or compromising position. So then immediately the dad decided to kill Hemraj and decided to kill Arushi, because Arushi had apparently had a argument with the dad.
So
about something. What is all that we will uncover today on Mystery Mondays, Manajan. आपको सुनते रहना है. And this is, of course, production of Media Mahima for Radio D Hotties, Manajan. And today is Mystery Mondays. If you're joining us for the very first time, go look up our YouTube channel, Radio D Hotties. Look up our Facebook page, Radio D Hotties. पता नहीं आप कहाँ से देख रहे हो. Yeah, you're probably listening to us on our Radio D Hotties apps on iOS, Android. And if you're driving, fikr not, you just have to, whether you have a Tesla, you have, I don't know, whatever car you have. Every car is now equipped with Apple Play, Google Play. You just have to say play Radio D Hotties. You have TuneIn Radio. You can go to Radio D Hotties and our stream automatically picks up. If you're in your Tesla, bas bolo play Radio D Hotties or type in Radio D Hotties and it automatically comes up on your Tesla and you can favorite the station and you can listen to it at any given point in time. And in digital stereo surround sound quality. Na, Baba.
Very true, very true. And of course, आज अगर आपको कुछ chime in करना तो call कर सकते हो यहाँ पे. The lines are open for us to call, for you guys to call. You can see the white band below which goes out there. It's a WhatsApp number. You go dial in 4088328881 4088328881. देखो ये जो हम लोग आपके साथ शेयर कर रहे हैं is what we have read. Right? जो हमने पढ़ा था थोड़ा बहुत रिसर्च करने के टाइम पे. Now you too can give us a call here, and you too, if at all you have some facts which you read somewhere, you can give us a call and definitely share with us for sure. हाँ, एक छोटा सा रिक्वेस्ट है, अगर आपने ये इन्फॉर्मेशन किसी डॉक्यूमेंट्री में देखा हो तो सोच समझ के हमें कॉल कीजिएगा. It's not that we don't want to, but you wanted to be able to cite the sources where you got the information from also, right?
Correct.
Because हमने जो भी सुना है, it's from the news centers. And this is something which has been documented very closely and maintained by many of the investigative agencies about what happened, because it is a very sadly a very interesting case. When I say that it actually, the question which comes up is, okay, Arushi, 13-year-old kid, what happened for the police to think the suspects, the main suspects in this case, not Hemraj, but the Talwars. That is the father and the mother. And here's what happened. I'm just going to tell you one thing here. Suspicion to dono parents pe aaya tha. Lekin, the person who was taken into custody after questioning was only the dad.
Correct.
That is Rajesh Talwar. Right? Nobody else was taken into consideration. The mom was not taken. Nupur was not taken into custody. Right? So only Rajesh Talwar was taken into custody for questioning further. Right? So इसके बारे में और जानकारी पाएंगे. So let's do this, Father. We set the background up. It was about a girl called her murder, and then you said it was not only her, because double murder के हिसाब से they found out that मौका वारदात पे एक और लाश मिली. But unfortunately, they found a little bit late because it already had happened. Right? So what happened there was, there seems to be two murders there. One was identified. The police was called for one murder, but they suspected it was somebody else, and the person they suspected to be the help of the house. Right? Unka, actually, they found out that person's body was lying on the terrace.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So now here's what we'll do right now. So let's do a quick, we'll do this. We'll try to see if we can actually show you. Yes, we have, let's welcome everybody on Facebook right now. Of course, everybody is on Facebook. Hello, namaste, good evening, bandus. किसी ने बोला, I can't read your name, but Meenakshi, namaste, कैसे हैं आप? आपका, yes, and of course, here is something which we're going to do. We're going to actually show also the layout of the house, right? Faltran, we'll try to see if we can show the layout of the house, correct?
Right, exactly.
हाँ, वो भी दिखाएंगे आप लोगों को, and also we'll talk about what exactly happened.
मौका वारदात का जो मतलब ये है crime scene का जो नक्शा है वो आपको दिखाएंगे. We cannot show you the crime scene obviously, but this is something that we found during our research, that this is the actual layout of the apartment and how it was found and what happened exactly. So nobody knows even what the reason we chose this today, Panchan, is also because it still baffles the mind, क्योंकि दिल्ली पुलिस का एक और they had their own theory, CBI का एक और theory था, वो कैसे involve हुए, उन्होंने क्या किया, and आज तक the mujrim has not been brought to justice. So nobody knows what exactly happened, but 2 lives are gone. One life of a person who was dedicated to serving that family and was a dedicated servant, whose name was tarnished by Delhi police. One. Second part is this a beautiful young girl who was full of promise, and who got who got killed even before she could actually, live out a life.
Correct. So we'll try to see if we can actually bring in our bandhus into the mix of that.
Yeah.
So ये जो आप देख रहे नक्शा है
Huh.
उस घर का, राइट? तलवार रेजिडेंस का 2nd फ्लोर का नक्शा है ये, जहाँ पे राजेश नूपुर का बेडरूम दिखाई देता है टॉप पोर्शन पे, राइट? I'll see if I can get my bandhus to see a cursor on screen, which I don't think they can see. Are they able to see it?
We are not able to see a cursor on screen. Are you able? No, I don't see a cursor, Alto Baba. Bandhujan, you can tell us if you're able to see what Alto is trying to use like a pointer so that he can
but
show
not
you
able
which, how to. Well, is there any way we can highlight a color there? Or we can't do that?
नहीं चलेगा. Let's talk about it. I think we can actually talk about the thing. So ऊपर की तरफ से आपको दिखाई दे रहा है कि this is the bedroom, right? And right adjacent to the bedroom is Arushi's bedroom, right? And then there's the hall, the other doorway, and Hemraj's bedroom is on the 2nd level, on the top level. So there is a room which goes up to the Hemraj's house room, right? They were actually there's a concealed bar in the center, in the middle, right? And there is entrance to the house. Entrance to house के पास ही there's the room which is Hemraj's room, and as they go deeper into it, right hand side में आएगा Arushi का bedroom, and straight up ahead is a big bedroom which is master bedroom for the Talwar's house, right? So the room of the Arushi used to be locked, right? It was be in the bedside of Nupur, the key for her Arushi's room, and Arushi's door had a self-locking system, and it was found unlocked in the morning.
So
right?
Arushi's room used to be locked.
Yes.
Oh.
So, but it actually was unlocked in the morning.
Uh-huh.
And they say there was 2 doors to Hemraj's room, one from the middle, the hall, what do we call it? And then there was there's a wooden door, a self-locking door in the center, and then of course a grill door, right? Found latched from outside, right next to Hemraj's room, right? And the outermost gate could be opened by pushing it by hand itself. The outermost gate, the entrance, but you see the entrance at the bottom. That door could actually be pushed open by hand. There's no need
from inside or outside.
From inside or outside, whatever. It's just easy. And there's a door there. And this door to his house at the right bottom side, Hemraj ka room ka, that was found bolted from inside. Andar se lock hua tha.
Andar se lock hua tha, and Hemraj was found dead in that room.
He was found in the room. And after they found only the smell of the thing, when they found some foul smell is when they found the body actually.
Oh my God.
Until then they thought he's absconding because the door was locked from outside of one side of the Hemraj's door.
They say that it was bolted from the inside.
हाँ, 2 doors, na? There were 2 doors. The door which is there on the, as you enter, enter करते ही right side पे door था, वो उनका अंदर से latch था. लेकिन अंदर का door जो है,
which opens into the house.
Which opens into the house, वो अलग था.
हाँ.
वो बाहर से locked था वो. That was what they found out, right?
Okay.
So this is the naksha of the house per se, right? So now इसमें क्या होता है कि there's also timelines as to whatever happened when and everything, right?
Right.
Did you want to share what you have on your thing, Faldrani?
Yeah. So let's go down to the night of the murder, okay? 15th May, the lead up to the murder, Bandhujan, is on 15th May. This happened in 2008, right? Apparently, Nupur Talwar was working at her clinic. That is the mom. From 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. मतलब दिन में 9 to 1 काम करी थी. उन्होंने आरुषि को स्कूल से पिकअप किया. Around 1:30 p.m. she picked up Arushi and then returned to their apartment at Jalvayu Vihar. Okay. फिर नूपुर की जो सिस्टर इन लॉ है, यानी कि राजेश तलवार की जो सिस्टर इन लॉ या आप को सिस्टर बोल सकते हो, क्योंकि राजेश तलवार की जो भाभी है, मतलब हिज ब्रदर्स वाइफ वंदना तलवार एक्चुअली वेंट आउट टू लंच विद नुपुर तलवार एंड आरुषि, राइट? सो वो लोग लंच किए एंड देन नुपुर एंड वंदना अपेरेंटली लेफ्ट आफ्टर ड्रॉपिंग आरुषि होम. ओके, फिर नुपुर वेंट टू द फोर्टिस हॉस्पिटल, जहाँ पे उन्होंने 4:30 बजे से 7 बजे तक काम किया. दिस इज द टाइम लाइन. ऑन 15th May शी रिटर्न टू द हाउस अराउंड 7:30 PM. वो वापस आई हैं घर पे. राजेश तलवार जो वो आल्टो ने बताया था ना पहले कि that he teaches at the ITS dental college. He was teaching at the time. So we're talking about that day. So that's why I'm speaking in the present tense. So we're on 15th May right now, right? Rajesh Talwar is teaching at ITS Dental College from 8:45 AM to 3:30 PM. And then he attended to patients at his clinic until 8:30 PM at night. Now, dad is out at his clinic till 8:30 PM at night. Mom is out at Fortis Hospital till 7 PM and she comes home at 7:30 PM. Then what happens? Well, Altubaba, do you want to get into that? Because okay.
Yeah, so basically what happens that particular night, right? So there is a particular thing. So 9 Rajesh and is so basically what happens is, so she stayed at home. Nupur, sister-in-law, Vandana Talwar.
No. Okay.
Join. So let's go a little bit. Let's back up.
At 9 o'clock. As of 9 o'clock, what happens? Rajesh and his driver, Umesh Sharma, जो उसका driver है, याद रखिए. That person came. Driver drives Rajesh, Dr. Rajesh, back to Jalvayu Vihar. They reach home around 9:30 PM. अभी जो उमेश शर्मा है, जो ड्राइवर है, ही ड्रॉप्ड राजेश इन फ्रंट ऑफ द अपार्टमेंट बिल्डिंग, राइट? उसके बाद पार्क करने के लिए पीछे की तरफ चला गया. ही ड्रोव अवे टू पार्क द कार एट द हाउस ऑफ नूपुर's पेरेंट्स, जो नूपुर तलवार के मम्मी पापा है, उनके घर पे ड्रॉप करने के लिए चला गया, जो विच वॉज एट अ वॉकिंग डिस्टेंस सपोजली, बिकॉज द तलवार्स डिड नॉट हैव अ गराज. And then Sharma returned to the Talwar resident around, he came back. The driver aaya wapas around 9:40 PM to give the keys to Rajesh Talwar. Okay? And Rajesh's bag he came to give to Hemraj, who had actually cooked dinner for the whole family. ठीक है? तो अब क्या हुआ? अब Nupur Talwar is home at 7:30. राजेश तलवार इज होम एट 9:30. ड्राइवर आया, हेमराज भी घर पे है क्योंकि हेमराज ने खाना बनाया सभी के लिए. ड्राइवर आया हेमराज को बैग देने के लिए, राजेश जी का बैग देने के लिए और कार की चाबी ड्रॉप करने के लिए, राइट?
So
that's why we are on 15th May.
Yeah, so up till 9 o'clock they know that all the people in that case were all at the place as per the verdict by Sharma, who's the driver. Because he said he saw Nupur, Arushi at the dining table and he also saw Rajesh coming out of his bedroom, because as I told you entrance के सामने ही bedroom है, मैं आपको layout दिखाया था. And he also saw Hemraj alive at that time, right? And he was the last person to see Hemraj alive, the driver Sharma. So nobody else talked about Hemraj after that. So the eyewitnesses, whatever they involved so far, right? So around 10-11, according between 10 and 11, क्या हुआ है कि this is account of the people. This has actually happened based on interviews done by them, right? So there were interviews of the Talwars who said after dinner they went to Arushi's room. This is all hearsay, okay? So we don't know what's happened because just between the three of them, the 4 people who were there in the house, right? They say they went to Arushi's room and gave her a Sony disc digital camera. So the digital camera had arrived that time only, so they wanted to give it to us as a gift, right? And of course the courier people had delivered this particular gift to whom? Hemraj. So we know Hemraj was there in that house that day, that morning, right?
Yeah.
He wanted to, supposedly, this camera was a gift. As I told you, she died in 7 days before her, 8 days before her birthday. Arushi's birthday was on 24th, right? But this is on the 16th, right? 15th actually. So he initially wanted to give it to her birthday, but Nupur persuaded Rajesh to give it to her that day itself as an early birthday surprise.
Yeah.
And supposedly Arushi clicked several photographs of herself and her parents. And the last clicked photograph, as you know, digital camera has the timestamps on it, happens to be at what time? 10:10. And subsequently, they claim that they went to sleep while Arushi remained in her room.
Yeah.
तो ये देखो इनका सेल्फ लॉकिंग रूम है आरुषि का, मैंने बताया था. तो ऑटोमेटिकली लॉक्स विद द लीव. सो बाहर से कोई अंदर नहीं जा सकता है बिकॉज द कीज विल बी इन नुपुर साइड बेड साइड टेबल राइट नियर हर बेड.
Okay.
And which is adjacent room to the parents.
But can Arushi open from inside? And
Arushi can open from inside. It's a self-locking door, right? So safety, बच्चों की safety के लिए, ताकि बाहर से कोई अंदर ना जा सके ना. That's more important. So that's what's happened. So they say by that time they've gone to sleep already. Right? So now, according to the parents themselves, around 11 p.m. Now this stands by 10 o'clock. 10:10 is the last photograph taken. According to the parents itself, Rajesh asked Nupur to switch on the internet router, which happens to be
in Arushi's room.
Arushi's room. The router is in the Arushi's room. Okay. So Rajesh asked her to switch on the internet router. Now I don't know why it had to switch it on, but she had to go switch it on. So when Nupur came to Arushi's room, the teenager was reading Chetan Bhagat's 3 mistakes of my life. And Nupur switched on the router and returned to her own room. So again, this is somewhere around 11 o'clock according to them. Mom has gone inside the room of Arushi, turned the router on, seen her alive and reading the book. Right? Returned to her own room. That is, she came back to the master bedroom of the parents, right? So Arushi is still in her room, sitting and reading. Okay? Around this time, Rajesh answered a call from the US on a landline, supposedly. Kept in the couple's room, which is in the couple's room, not in Arushi's room, not in the main room and anything, okay?
Right.
And of course, supposedly the ringer was not silent.
यानी कि obviously
phone
सुनाई दिया
rang.
होगा. They would have, Nupur also testified to it, saying that the phone rang and he was talking to somebody.
Yeah, and then supposedly Rajesh has been surfing the net for some stock market and some dentistry websites, and he also sent a few emails. This all has been corroborated because they got his information from his computer, right?
Yeah.
And he supposedly visited some the email website and everything around 11:40. Is as for they've seen the email going on. So all this has been corroborated story by them, right?
Yeah.
So the police have corroborated saying that okay, हाँ सच था भाई.
The forensic scrubbing, whether it's police or CBI, whoever did it.
But still, the last usage of the particular computer has been around 11:40 in that range, 11:41 that range, okay?
Yeah.
So यहाँ तक मालूम है कि हाँ 12 बजे तक कुछ नहीं हुआ था, right? अभी 16 में आ गया. That is, clock
12
turns
a.m.
12 a.m., right? Around midnight, Arushi's friend Anmol tried calling her on her mobile as well as a Talwas residence landline. The calls were not answered for some reason, though the ringer was on.
Right.
Calls were not answered. Around 12:30 a.m., he sent her a SMS message. Guess what? Even this message was not received by Arushi's phone.
Correct.
And the internet router, the router was there, right?
जो उसके रूम में था, आरुषि के रूम में था. Remember this,
जो
okay?
turn on होके हुआ था, she went and turned on, right? The last usage of the particular router
was at 12:08 a.m.
Yeah, this is what was CBI inferred based on Rajesh's online activities.
That maximum he would have been online is till 12:08 a.m. because that is when the last internet usage happened.
Yeah.
Right?
So now from midnight to AM, 6 AM, they could not get the exact sequence of events. Investigators could not get the exact sequence of events. They could not, to certainty, they couldn't say it. But according to their post-mortem reports, Arushi and Hemraj were killed between 12 a.m. and 1 a.m. मतलब वो 1 घंटे में सब कुछ हो गया था. Right?
According to the forensic reports, they believe that the time of death of both people could have been between 12 and 1.
Yeah, of course. We don't know what exactly happened, where it happened, because both the stories say there was no struggle, there was no argument, nothing. But this happened, right? So now we know that there was a phone call attempt by a friend of Arushi. Neither did they pick up the home line because home line rang for the landline rang like this for the the landline rang for that particular call, correct? But they claim that nobody could hear the phone ring at around 12:30 when Arushi's friend Anmol called. He was
Not
a
only,
texter.
and he called her, he called her on the cell phone, then he called on the landline, and then he texted her around 12:30.
So, in other words, what the forensic report, what it said post-mortem, could be right because between 12 and 1 ये वारदात हुई है. Okay? यहाँ तक को आपको मैंने बता दिया कि क्या हुआ. They found, this is what's happened thus far, right? Now, whatever happened between that time to the find, I think Falter can jump into saying how they actually found what they found out. Okay.
Well, on 16th May, this is the day that the bodies were discovered. The missing servant Hemraj, as of 16th May, was the prime suspect. In his police complaint, Rajesh blamed Hemraj for his daughter's murder. Now, remember, Rajesh doesn't know that. Technically, he's not supposed to be knowing that they have not yet discovered Hemraj's body.
Okay, but first of all, the discovery of the murder, what happened? How did they come to know of it? Is what you got to tell, right?
Okay, how did they discover it?
So, I believe 16th May. I forget who was the person. I think in the morning of 16th, visitors to Talwar's house noticed some bloodstains on the terrace door handle.
Oh.
Yeah. So Rajesh's former colleague Rajiv Kumar, Varshni and Rohit Kochar later told the police had...
Okay, so this is what happened, right? The family's housemaid called Bharati Mandal. Okay, she, a 35-year-old maid, rang the doorbell around 6 a.m. Okay. And this lady was a new hire. She was somebody who they had just hired about 6 days before. Every day, Hemraj would actually go and open the door for her, Bharati Mandal.
Okay.
As Nupur and Rajesh generally used to sleep in and they used to wake up late. But is bar, nobody opened the door, even after she rang the doorbell for a second time. She later stated that she tried pushing the outermost gate, but she couldn't open the gate. After she rang the doorbell a third time, Nupur opened the innermost wooden door. जो आपने देखा ना
हेमराज के घर के पास है,
हेमराज के रूम के पास है.
हाँ.
जो innermost wooden door है, अगर आप देखोगे एक outermost door था which could be pushed in.
So अगर आप screen देख रहे हैं तो I think you can't see my cursor. Unfortunately, let me see if I can activate my cursor. अब बातें करते रहो.
So then what she did was she speaking through the mesh of the middle grill door, she told Bharti that the door was locked from outside. ठीक है. She asked Bharti about the whereabouts of Hemraj. उसने ये पूछा कि हेमराज कहाँ है. And when Bharti said, generally, I have no idea because he's the one who opens the door all the time.
Yeah, so
Nupur apparently said he must have gone to दूध लाने गया होगा. He must have gone to fetch milk and must have locked the door from the outside by mistake. बाहर से मतलब चाबी लगा के ही ताला लगा के वो चला गया. She then asked Bharti to wait outside till Hemraj comes back. So and then Bharti, who did not want to wait, asked Nupur to throw the keys to her. जो घर के कीज हैं वो उसको फेंकने के लिए बोला. Then Nupur asked her to go downstairs so that she could throw the keys to her from the balcony. ठीक है, क्योंकि mesh door था. देखो 3 layer of security था ना उनका. एक outermost layer, then you have the mesh door, and then you have the grill, wooden grill वाला वो door.
सही है.
And जो हेमराज के रूम के बिल्कुल बाजू में था. ठीक है. So now she says, I will throw you the keys from there. Then Nupur calls Hemraj's mobile phone, but the phone was abruptly cut. किसी ने काट दिया लाइन को.
Oh wow.
Okay, so when she tries calling him again, the phone is switched off. पहली बार जब कॉल किया किसी ने काट दिया लाइन को, and then second time the phone is switched off. So when Bharti reached downstairs, Nupur asked her to go back and check if the door was just latched and not locked. अभी भारती insisted that Nupur throw the keys anyway, क्योंकि ये Nupur उसको भगा रही है कि पहले जाके चेक करो कि लॉक है, फिर नीचे जाओ, मैं नीचे तुम्हें फेंकूंगी. And then again she tells her, no, go check if it was just latched or not locked. But this lady Bharti said, no, you give me the keys. I don't have to take the stairs up and down again. In case it's locked, I will just open it and I'll come. तो अभी क्या किया इस नुपुर ने, शी सेड ओके एंड शी थ्रू द कीज डाउन टू भारती. अकॉर्डिंग टू the Talwars, both Nupur and Rajesh Talwar, Rajesh also woke up by that time. And he saw he entered the living room and he saw a near empty Scotch whiskey bottle on the dining table, which completely surprised him. Okay, he asked Nupur ki who had kept that bottle there, and then alarmed asked her to check Arushi's room. कि पूरा एक bottle Scotch almost empty था. जो अगर आप वो ये देखोगे, if you see the diagram, you'll see that one place where there is a red color bottle that you might see. अरे क्या हो गया आलतू बाबा?
हाँ, continue.
तो वो जो red color bottle है, that is the drawing area where they found the what do you call the empty, almost empty Scotch bottle. And अभी क्या हुआ है, ये जो Scotch bottle वहाँ पे रखा था, आरुषि's रूम का आपको मालूम है सेल्फ लॉकिंग डोर था, and since it could only be opened from the outside with the key that mom generally had, it used to be in mom's bedside table, that is Nupur's bedside table. They thought, okay, let's go and try to open the door, but they found that the door was unlocked. That morning door khula hai. Kaise? When they entered the room, they see Arushi's dead body on the bed. Rajesh starts screaming. Nupur is silent because of the shock, according to her. And in the meanwhile, Bharti, who had returned to the outermost gate, वो gate push करके she opened it without the key. फिर she found that the middle door was latched but not locked. मतलब ताला लगा नहीं था. So she opened the latch and walked in. फिर she entered the apartment and she saw Rajesh and Nupur crying. Nupur asked her to come inside Arushi's room. Bharti stood at the entrance of the room as Nupur walked inside. Arushi's body lay on her bed. It was covered with a flannel blanket. Nupur pulled the blanket and Bharati saw that Arushi ka gala kata gaya hai, meaning her throat was slit. Both parents blamed Hemraj for Arushi's murder in front of the maid. They both started saying Hemraj is responsible. Bharti instead walked out of the apartment to inform the neighbors. She then returned to the house and asked if the Talwars, if the doctors wanted her to do her daily household chores. When they said no, she actually left, it seems, to work with other houses. So immediately the Talwars, apparently they called their family and friends. Puneet Rai Tandon karke unka ek padosi tha, who lived one floor below the Talwars, and they asked the Jalvayu Vihar security guard Virendra Singh to inform the police. And by the time the police arrived, there were 15 people in the living room and about 5 to 6 people in the Talwar's bedroom. Only Arushi's room was vacant. The crime scene had been completely compromised because इतने सारे लोग मतलब आना जाना सब कुछ हुआ था. And this is how the body of this young lady was discovered. The story of this murder in the in a very affluent neighborhood, mind you, क्योंकि इन लोगों के पास बहुत पैसा था, and it attracted a lot of media attention, and all the media had already gathered around the house by 8 a.m. People are there already.
Yeah.
And socho, they've only discovered the bodies technically around 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is just, and the worst part is the fact that this actually was the, sorry, I lost my chain of thought because I'm trying to arrange something else over here, Banajan. So I was going to say that this, all this happened in like matter of few hours only.
Okay.
So morning, midnight to 6 a.m. when the servant has come in. That's it. Yeah.
So this is, we have discovered Arushi Talwar's body at this time. ठीक है? लेकिन हेमराज का कब discovery हुआ? Okay, so before that, let's talk about this, okay? सभी ये राजेश तलवार और नुपुर तलवार दोनों गला फाड़ के बोल रहे हैं कि हेमराज is the person who has killed their daughter, and they blamed him because he was missing. Nobody knows where he is. तो obviously पूरा एक स्कॉच बॉटल almost empty है. उनके घर का एक्सेस बेसिकली हेमराज के पास था. ये भी माना जा सकता है कि ये कॉन्कॉक्टेड स्टोरी है कि हेमराज पे शक डालना चाहते थे ये लोग, कुछ भी बोल सकते हैं, राइट? सो ही ऑन 16th में जब पुलिस वहाँ पे पहुंची, like we said, the crime scene had already been, Arushi Talwar's bedroom, that had already been compromised. Uske alawa, there were lot of people in the house. So what happened, he repeatedly told the police to pursue Hemraj instead of wasting time in his apartment. It seems he even offered them 25,000 rupees to rush to Hemraj's native village in Nepal. ताकि वहां जाके उसको पकड़ के लेके आए. The police suspected that Hemraj had entered Arushi's room in a drunken state after consuming that whiskey and had tried to sexually assault her. When she resisted, he killed her with a kukri, which is a Nepali knife. ठीक है? And then the police announced a reward of 20,000 rupees for tips leading to his capture. अभी क्या हुआ, आरुषि का बॉडी पोस्टमार्टम के लिए लेके चले गए 8:30 AM को. उत्तर प्रदेश पुलिस कांस्टेबल्स उसको लेके चले गए. Then Rajesh's brother Dinesh Talwar and his driver Umesh Sharma and childhood friend Ajay Chadha, accompanied by the constables around were all present at this particular time. Okay, around 1 PM the body was brought home and placed on ice slabs in the living room. It was taken for cremation at Antim Nivas crematorium around 4 PM. According to the Talwars, who were later accused of being in a hurry to cremate the body, it was all happened within a span of 1 day, like few hours, right? सुबह 8 बजे को पोस्टमार्टम के लिए लेके गए हैं, राइट? इतना फास्ट उसने उस बच्ची का पोस्टमार्टम भी हो गया एंड 4 बजे तक उस बच्ची का अंतिम संस्कार भी हो गया.
So
people were saying, what was the rush to cremate the body? Because there could have been a possibility for further examination for any other forensic evidence. Correct. Whether she was sexually assaulted and all that stuff.
Makes sense, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Then the police later alleged that Talwar's domestic staff, जो बाकी के domestic servants है, had shown undue haste in cleaning Arushi's room. बहुत जल्दी उन्होंने clean कर दिया था उनके staff ने. So in Talwar's defense, their compounder Vikas Sethi told the court that he had received permission to clean the house from police and that a lady constable was actually present at the crime scene.
Wow, okay. But you know this also the fact that the other lady, when she offered to clean the help, Nupur said no, right? Nupur didn't ask her to clean. So, but later on something has happened which we don't know.
Nupur said, I don't want, we don't want anything, you can go. Usko bhej diya. But remember, there's been a time elapse that's happened between the time that the lady opened the door and came inside the house to the time of the discovery of the bodies.
Correct.
There is a significant, like at least 20-30 minutes ka gap hai, whatever has happened at that time. Now, a part of Arushi's bloodstained mattress was cut out and sent to the forensic lab with her pillow and her bedsheet and clothes. And Vikas Sethi, who is the compounder, later testified that he, along with 3 others, tried to dump the remaining part of the mattress onto the terrace, but they had found it locked. Right? An old lady then told him to put the mattress on the neighboring terrace. Now, Rajesh's driver Sharma then asked the neighbor, who is Puneet Tandon, for the key to his terrace. Earlier, at 4 PM also, Sharma had asked Tandon for the key, saying that he needed to dump the ice that he brought for Arushi's body. Okay, now he has taken the key 2 times. Now, why are we telling you why it's important for taking that particular key? Okay, we'll tell you what happened next. The discovery that happened on the terrace. This time, Tandon opened the terrace himself. Sharma, Sethi and 2 others dragged the mattress to his terrace. Tandon then locked the terrace door. None of them noticed the body of Hemraj, which was lying on the adjacent terrace, separated by a grill wall. जो terrace है, इस terrace से उस terrace में ये जो Hemraj है, उसका body था, which was lying there in plain view, plain sight. And nobody noticed that body. And according to CBI, when the post-mortem written report, so let's tell you how discovery of Hemraj's body happened. Okay, there were many on the morning of 16th May, same morning when Arushi's body was discovered. The visitors to Talwar's house noticed some blood stains on the terrace door handle. यानी कि किसी के हाथ के स्टेन्स मतलब कुछ तो किसी के ब्लड का स्टेन्स वो टेरेस डोर हैंडल पे है. Rajesh's former colleagues Rajiv Kumar Vashni and Rohit Kochar later told police that they saw the blood stains on the terrace door, its lock and the staircase leading to the terrace. There were blood stains all along the way, which means that there's a trail. Either Hemraj got injured and was trying to run away and he locked from
which means the police did not do a good job of doing proper research.
Correct. They have not combed the crime scene properly because you're technically supposed to search the whole house. While visiting the Talwar's house, Vashni had taken the stairs to the terrace by mistake. However, several other witnesses testified that they had not noticed any bloodstains on the staircase that morning. Many other people said there were no bloodstains. These witnesses included police officers Umesh Sharma, Puneet Rai Tandon, Bharati Mandal, the maid, and also the compounder Vikas Sethi. All these people said we didn't see any bloodstains. Okay?
Actually, Kochar actually stated that the bloodstains on the terrace, they brought to attention of the police constables over there, Akhilesh Kumar, right? But Praful Durani, who also visited the house, claimed that the policeman initially dismissed the spot on the terrace door as rust.
And apparently he was also dismissive of the bloodstains.
On the floor also, by the way, yeah. The police told him that the killer must have tried to escape through or hid the weapon on the terrace, but returned after finding it locked. Because they couldn't open the door, he just saw lock ho gaya, chodo.
That the killer must have tried to escape, लेकिन वो मतलब ताला लगा हुआ था, तो that's why the person has returned somewhere else. And there's another theory कि ये जो blood stains बाकी लोगों को नहीं दिखा, सिर्फ ये डॉक्टर वाशनी जो इनके कॉलीग थे सिर्फ उनको दिखा, तो बोले तो लोगों ने बोला कि it could be that it was because these guys were trying to carry the blood stain mattress up. It could have been blood from there.
Okay.
And then ये जो प्रफुल्ल दुरानी हैं जो उनके घर पहुंचे, he claimed that the
बताओ
जो police, sorry Banjan, it's a little distracting because people are constantly calling our line. I don't know if they're trying to reach our show online or if they're trying to
call us on the other line, which we can actually pick it up for the rest.
Yeah, exactly.
832-8881.
So what has happened here is that police apparently were eventually persuaded to investigate the terrace because they could not get the key to the terrace door. Nobody is able to open the terrace and they don't know what it is, but definitely there has been some kind of something off because जो bloodstain का mark था वो police officer constable ने बोला rust है, right? And then according to Vashni, the police also told him that no, don't worry about it. It must have been that the guy tried to escape from there but didn't escape from there, kind of thing. So there's nothing in the terrace probably. Then Rohit Kochar, who is also happened to be who was a colleague of Rajesh Talwar, remember this, okay? He later testified that when a policeman asked Rajesh for the terrace key, he went into the house and did not come out for a long time. Rajesh did not come out for a long time. Vashni told the court that Rajesh went, quote, towards the staircase and immediately returned and went inside the house. Rajesh later stated that he did not exactly have the recollection of what happened at that time, but insisted that he never stopped the investigators from visiting any part of the house. So people are saying that Rajesh was trying to stall the fact that the police should go there. Ultimately, the police were unable to open the door and let it stay locked till the next day, jo 17th May tha. And then Mahesh Mishra, who is the superintendent of police, testified that he had asked for the terrace door to be opened on 16th May itself. However, his subordinates told him that Rajesh Talwar couldn't find the key and that they couldn't find a mechanic to break open the door. He also stated that he had filed a report of his carelessness with the senior superintendent of police in Noida. ठीक है. On 17th May, Rajesh and Nupur Talwar leave for Haridwar, okay, to immerse Arushi's ashes in the Ganges River as per the Hindu custom. Several visitors continue to come to Talwar's house, which is being managed by the brother, Dinesh Talwar. These visitors included retired police officer K.K. Gautam, who had been requested by Sushil Chaudhary to come to the Talwar's house. After arriving at the house, he examined the rooms of Arushi and Hemraj. Dinesh then showed him the blood stains on the terrace door handle. According to Gautam, okay, this is the retired police officer, Dinesh requested him to get the terrace door unlocked. Gautam then called SP Mahesh Mishra and also told him that the lock now needs to be broken. Mishra promised that he would himself visit the crime scene and meanwhile send the station officer Dataram Noniria, okay, lot of names coming into the mix, okay, to the apartment. The key to the terrace was still missing. Now remember those Durrani people, Praful and Anita Durrani,
The partners in
the partners, yeah. Asked Nonoria to break open the lock. As the group entered the terrace, they saw, जैसे जब body को खींच के लेके आते हैं, right, bloody drag marks, a body in a advanced stage of putrefaction. बोले तो
It already is decaying.
it's already decaying.
It's been more than a few hours, because it had happened early morning of 16th.
Yeah.
And now it is 17th May, almost 48 hours.
At 10:30 in the morning.
10,
So
almost like 24 hours. Almost 24 hours. More than 30 hours, you can say.
no, more than 24 hours. No. So if it's happened 16th May between 12 and 1, 17th May between 12 and 1
around
is
30 hours.
around 32 hours हुआ है.
So it actually has been decaying for such a long time. It's
Yeah.
been okay.
And it's, remember Delhi, it's like May and hot, right? Humid conditions. So Dinesh Talwar couldn't identify the newly discovered body क्योंकि उसको मालूम नहीं था, and called Rajesh and Nupur, who were on their way to Haridwar, asking them to come home. Meanwhile, जो superintendent of police थे, Mahesh Mishra, वो भी पहुंच गए. When the couple arrived at home, Nupur did not enter the house and she sat in the car with Arushi's ashes, as she considered it inauspicious to take the ashes inside. Rajesh went upstairs to identify the body. He told the police he couldn't be sure that the body was that of Hemraj due to the injuries and the decomposition. यानी कि इसको बहुत बुरी तरह से मारा है. Okay. Later, a friend of Hemraj identified that was actually Hemraj's body.
Okay. Now, first thing is, seriously, we don't know the body. If he was a help, he probably would have seen him every day. Clothes wouldn't have changed much. Gets you wondering as to how come he could recognize the first instance.
Correct.
Right?
And how is it that our it calls into question, right? How is it that Rajesh Talwar, the guy has cooked, Hemraj has cooked dinner for them the previous night. And how is it that he will not recognize Hemraj's body?
Okay,
And
even
the
if
guy
he's
is a-
beaten up black and blue,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
Probably, I don't know, we don't know the condition of the thing, but we just know that even if it's like decaying, it won't decay so fast that you can't recognize the body.
Correct.
Right? Yeah, probably he would not have anticipated him to be, he would have thought that he actually has run away and not been murdered. But he's in the house, locked in the room, right? So, very fishy. But still, so here's what happened, that they found on the May 17th. अभी तो शुरुआत ही है सर ये, we are just talking about the मौका वारदात पे 2 मर्डर का सबूत मिला है. मिस्ट्री यही है कि कौन, who did it. अभी तक people don't know about it. कि क्या हुआ वहाँ पे. Yes, there was a movie which made totally, you talked about this whole thing because it's a huge timeline, because जो 2008 में हुआ था, 2014 तक चला, right? I think it went on beyond 2014, if I'm not mistaken. It went all the way until 2017, actually. 10 years the case went on. And Allahabad High Court, they actually finally they reserved the judgment actually, because in 2017 in January, Allahabad High Court they actually on an appeal filed by Talwars challenging the conviction by a CBI court in 2013, right? But then again it was denied. Talwars denied bail actually on 2014, right? But then it was again brought in, and then they reserved the comments on the conviction part of it. So, still don't know what it is. We're just in a starting point. I think probably we might even do a part 2 of this because the whole timeline is huge.
Correct.
But again, ये case कुछ काफी complicated है because अभी तक तो हम बस मौके आधार के बारे में बात किए हैं.
We're just talking about the discovery of the bodies, Banujan. एक तो जो one thing is for certain कि हेमराज को अगर उन्होंने दोषी ठहराया है, तो या तो अगर हेमराज ने एक्चुअली आरुषि को मारा, तो फिर हेमराज को किसने मारा?
करेक्ट.
एंड जब दूसरी चीज क्या है कि टेरेस लॉक्ड था, ओके, एंड द फैक्ट वाज दैट नोबडी टॉक्ड अबाउट व्हाट वाज हैपनिंग इन द टेरेस. And there was actually a trail of blood going up to the terrace. Now, Hemraj might have, okay, here is what could have happened. There might have been a scuffle. Somebody might have tried to hit Hemraj or whatever, and Hemraj might have tried to run up the stairs. It could be his own blood. They did not test. Forensic testing nahi kiya gaya.
Correct.
For Hemraj's blood.
But there was quick action though. On May 23rd. 2008.
Okay.
Going a little further itself. Given whatever hotspot information the police had, they made an arrest. And they arrested Rajesh for the double murder of Arushi and of Hemraj. Now, interesting part is, ठीक 7 दिन बाद, CBI takes over the probe. Now, why was CBI involved? Was it because of a high-profile case? Or was it like, were they like because of very rich people who actually got involved in this? Because आगे जाते जाते आपको दिखाई देगा कि almost 10 साल तक केस चला, काफी सारे अरेस्ट हुए उसमें इसके बाद. Right? Once CBI came into questioning, CBI did a whole lot of other things. They actually summoned many people, detained many people. And this case becomes even more complicated. Gets so complicated, it boggles the mind just as to why would a 13-year-old girl's body be throat slit on her bed, and why does the house help found dead on terrace while the other 2 surviving people were in the adjacent room sleeping, not even able to hear what happened, the scuffle or whatever happened, because morning verdict says that there was a bottle of scotch half and thrown on the floor, which will definitely make noise. And given the layout of the house, yes, it could have been heard. Were other people drunk? Nobody knows. Right? And what was the reason for them to say, okay, go come here, come there, when the help wanted to come into the house? Why weren't the actual doors open? Was it because they knew the bloodstains were there on the floor? What happened? Nobody knows, right? In this case, we just know that the father went to the jail. Mother was not sent to jail. Father was questioned for murder, not the mother, right? All that thing is coming up. We'll talk more about that. I don't know, Father, are we going to be wrapping up today's show and coming up with the next part 2 for next Monday?
We could do part 2 of it, and we could actually
because there we'll talk about the entire timeline. 10 years ka case chala, which has multiple things. You suddenly see that there's a case or the people, the friends who came in to help when the time, they also get involved in the whole thing, right? Questioning happens, all the thing happens.
Correct. And there's a lot of speculation as to how Hemraj's phone was being answered by somebody and cut.
Correct.
How is that happening? And who turned off the phone after that?
And you'll be surprised to hear the
next
verdict.
day also it happened apparently.
And you'll be surprised to hear the verdict of CBI, which will surprise you because that's exactly what the Delhi police came up with in the first place.
That it was Rajesh Talwar who caused it? CBI exonerated the parents.
CBI actually in April of 2020, we'll talk about that for sure.
We'll talk about it.
और detail बताएंगे आप लोगों को, but अभी ना एक काम कीजिए, आप आराम से rest लीजिएगा. I know it's a very heavy topic to talk about on our shows, but next Monday तक wait करना पड़ेगा, because we'll bring you more information about this murder mystery, which boggles the mind. We don't know. We're not here to say, oh, this is a person guilty or not guilty. Just based on the case facts, you can say that, being mystery lovers, we try to do all the speculations. Sad, it had to happen to a young child and probably an innocent bystander in the whole equation.
Or probably somebody who tried to defend her.
You never know. Somebody who tried to come to her defense.
Yeah.
Probably was in the thing. We'll talk more about for sure.
Uh-huh. And also another there's another theory that was there, which was made up, or which they came up with because of all the different people that got involved. Because remember, these are bigwigs who got involved. Superintendent of police doesn't come out to a crime. An
CBI will not take any average crime. CBI,
Yeah.
like the FBI, will take on a federal crime.
Right.
Or will take on something which has happened in multiple places, like a serial killer crime, probably.
Yeah, or for that matter, when when there is a doubt that's cast upon, the local police, that they are
Oh, really?
watching him. Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
That's why the CBI got involved, right?
Probably.
Because of the fact that the superintendent of police got involved. There's also speculation ki her autopsy report
Was rushed.
was doctored.
Yeah, so
Doctored बोले तो because
so-
दिनेश तलवार बहुत पहुंचे हुए थे.
So actually, we have people on Facebook posting about this. Aditi is also saying there's a lot of slip-ups on the police also. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, probably Akavi said Faltoni. I think it is because CBI got involved partly because of the slip-ups of the police officers, police department as well, right?
Yeah. And the other part is also the fact that between the brother Talwar, the older brother Talwar, Dinesh Talwar, Sushil Agrawal, and the police, who was that retired police officer, and also the क्या कहते हैं the autopsy, where the autopsy was happening. They triangulated the calls to find out that this was exactly happening around that time.
Wow.
When the autopsy report was due. So how did the autopsy happen so fast? How did they come out with the report as a clean chit kind of thing? And there is the family, like, completely any possible shreds of evidence that they could have found were incinerated along with her remains. So who is it? What was the big hurry in her being? That was part of the reason I think that the Noida police felt that this was a case where that the dad was involved. And then, of course, they said that they are necessarily demonizing the dad. And then there was different theories that came out. One was that the killings were done by somebody who was, because it was such an intimate murder, right? I mean, generally they say if somebody is taking the trouble to slit somebody's throat, and the way she was killed is done, it's a crime of passion, is what they say. It's and then they say that she had there was signs of sexual intercourse or assault on the girl, and this is a 13-year-old child. Remember this. So there was.
But then again, all that not be corroborated because I don't know the autopsy ever came out that way, right?
Correct, because they even got rid of everything, right? They cut off even the part of the bed, and they even got rid of the girl's body. And then there were these whole holes in the story about. Why is the mom opening after such a long time? Okay, assuming that they slept in and they expected Hemraj to open, and the mom was clueless. But then why does she say, I'll throw you the keys from there, and then say, go try the door again? And then by the time she comes in, both of them are crying that the girl has been killed. So, and both of them are saying, oh, dekho kya Hemraj ne kya kar diya. How were they able to identify that this was actually Hemraj who was causing this problem? So there's many theories that came up. So we can we can go into all those details. Who were the other suspects that came into play? Because clearly, if it is not Rajesh Talwar, if it is not Nupur Talwar, if it is not Hemraj, then was it Bharati Mandal?
We don't know. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to pick up where we left off today on next Monday.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for the part 2 of the double murder case of Noida. It's a mystery, not been solved as yet. No, it's not been solved, Paranjan, because the people who have been accused in this case are denying of ever doing it. So obviously, it means that there's a big hole. Somebody has not accepted their crimes. Right, so we don't know what's happened, what is going to happen. It's even more mind-boggling than the mass suicide attempt which we saw, because right now we feel that the perpetrator is on the loose, right?
Right.
So we'll talk more about that next Monday for sure. Lekin abhi ke liye aap logon ko bolenge, I hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed presenting to you guys. And yes, do leave a comment if at all you liked what we're presenting. If you want us to pick up more of these mysteries, we'll be happy to do research on that for sure. And we'll bring it to you here and try to present it the best way we can. Right, so ये story जो है लंबा है, like Fadi said, because a lot of stories coming up. There's a lot of stories, speculations, whatever reason it is, whether slip up of the police or not, or the acumen of the murderer or the people who are trying to cover up something which we still don't know why, what, because they seem to be a loving family, doting father, and of course the mother's perspective saying that he could never have been touched or hurt her daughter, right?
Right, and in fact, the CBI themselves said that this seemed like some kind of a motivated agenda behind this.
Yeah.
And the people who got involved, and if you haven't watched the movie, it's definitely worth a watch. It leaves
Watch the
everything
movie.
unanswered.
Yeah, that's why we're going to take this thing. Watch the movie for sure if you have the time. Otherwise, definitely catch up our program next Monday. We will try to see if we can bring a closure to this and actually leave you with more questions than what we started off, okay?
Absolutely.
Tab tak ke liye Fateh, any going away thoughts for Bandus?
We will be back tomorrow with Teaser Takedown Tuesday, Bandhujan. Don't forget to tune in then. And at the same time, we will be talking about some of the a much anticipated release that's going to be coming out this Friday. And if any of you want to join us, well, why are we saying this? We are not getting paid to promote this movie. We don't get paid to promote any of this stuff, but we are a non-profit organization. अगर आप मीडिया महिमा को donate करना चाहते हैं, incidentally, somebody actually told us, with regard to content, right? One of the things that we wanted to share, that this is a community radio. The only reason we are on the air and we are actually here before you is because of you, Bandhujan. Honestly, because of the fact that you consume our content, you enjoy our content. If you really like our shows, please do share our videos and share our apps with your friends and family. Anywhere in the world, anybody can access us as long as they have a reliable Wi-Fi network or an edge network. That's anywhere in the world. Please do help us increase our visibility and mileage, because commercial radio, every song, every 5 minutes you have ads playing. And if you're okay with listening to a CPA yakking, selling his own business, or for that matter you're happy, that's up to you entirely. But what Media Mahima tries to do is to bring you content of value to each and every single one of you. So whether you're sitting in Washington DC, or you're sitting in I don't know, Alaska, Anchorage, Alaska, or you are watching us right here in the Bay Area, or you're watching us somewhere in Australia or in India, anywhere in the world, Africa, we have bandhus who listen to us from Africa as well. So please do share our videos, and please do talk about why you're sharing our video and why you enjoy this programming, so that we can get to continue programming, and we can get some funding to continue this programming for everybody's benefit. Now, today you heard about the Arushi Talwar, Hemraj, Banjades double murder case. Isn't it ironic, and isn't it sad, Altu Baba? They only say Arushi Talwar murder case. They don't take the name of that domestic servant.
Well, actually speaking, many of the agencies do that, but I think majority of the articles I've read, reports I've read, talk about the double murder case.
Yeah.
But again, the movie
was
named Talwar.
Yeah.
So again, it is sad, but that's also the fact about life, unfortunately, right? So only the people who are prominent get the exposure, not the Hemraj, which is sad. Sorry, I think that's a very sad story of Hemraj. We'll talk more about next episode for sure, because you need to know the background of Hemraj as well.
Correct.
Right? Because it is a very key part of the thing, and I think if I were to be investigating it, I would definitely find a clue through that itself.
Correct.
And there are stories around that and tells you why CBI did come to conclusion of all those things. लेकिन उसके लिए आपको wait करना पड़ेगा for just one more week. But we'll be back next Monday for sure. I promise you. I'll be giving you more detail. Insight into what happened with the Noida mystery murder case. No, we're not going to say this speculation. No, we're just going to read out what the facts are, and you make a judgment about
facts as they've been presented to us. We
that's
haven't
true.
been there.
Very
we are
true.
not investigators.
Well said. Well
ना
said.
तो वो करमचंद है ना तो मैं लिली हूँ.
But हम दोनों सिल्ली हैं, वो अलग बात है. So we will definitely give you this update for you on the next Monday, Mystery Mondays. And तब तक के लिए बनजान, आप सभी लोगों को हमारी तरफ से good night.
शब बखैर
And of course,
प्यार
प्यार भरा.